Same time my cook break. But
very interesting.
Well, let me give this a shot.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Wow. What happened to the audio levels? Well, so much for pre-net level checking. The Old Tube Radio Network, I think I've pressed all the buttons I need to get us on the air. I think I have the link up, the correct link up for this week. So if you've clicked on that, you shouldn't be watching last week's program. OldTubeRadio.net has the audio. There's a link to the video that will have the video going on. And of course, the best place to be right here on 27085 Channel 11, where moments ago it was solid skip land from all over, and now it has seemed to sort of quiet down, which is an okay thing. But I really believe tonight, with the conditions we've been getting, that we may be able to hear some of the far away and far out check-ins. And what is that? Something just fell out of my chair. It is a large Sharpie. What is that? It's the giant marking pen. Anyway, let me... It fell out of my chair. I got to figure out what that's all about. But anyway, let me stop. And are there any stations that need to get checked in and go back to the barbecue or whatever they're doing? Over.
Breaker?
Hey, Breaker, go ahead. Over.
Hey, Dennis, yeah, I'd like to check in early. And I was going to ask if you know anything about the Dish Bank. Did they had any check-in on the Dish Bank last night?
Yeah, there was check-ins last night. I actually got a chance to check in, so they were definitely out there. Over.
10-4, yeah. I got back about 8:30, and there was nobody there. So I thought maybe something happened, and we didn't get not. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to find out. Thank you there, Dennis, for your time, brother. Take care. 553, checking in.
Okay, well, make sure you are checked in at the appropriate time. No problem. Anybody else need a quick in and out here? All right, you have to get checked in. We'll catch. I know it's a lot of things going on. You can see it's still bright. It's a bright, shiny, happy day behind me. The sun is going down. We will see what's happening with the gray line. Conditions have been pretty good all over. And we will get started here with SWL0. That's 102. Oh, wait, there's a lot of comments going on already. So hopefully I haven't missed the people I should be looking at. But anyway, I'll scroll back up to see if I can find people when they are there. So let me get, 00 is in. SWL number 1 is in. SWL number 2, Mr. OBP, who helped me out in the video and the audio setting things up, says that we might have some 10-meter activity, some 11-meter activity, maybe some 6-meter activity, so keep your ear tuned and your antennas ready to go on your radio, and got you checked in, OBP. I'm going to do a proxy check-in for SWL3. Then we skip up to SWL7. And I got a note for a possible proxy and a late check-in for 7, because I think he might be out at the local things that he does on Saturday evenings. I think it's the 4th Saturday. 00 is checking in. There, I see you there, John. Hope everybody had a great week. So far, so good. If you were wanting DX, it was good. If you're wanting decent weather, I think it was pretty good all over the place. And if you wanted other stuff, maybe not so good. But, you know, you can't have everything. SWL 10, and I thought I just saw, 10 and 30 checking in across my screen. We are listening. I'll be listening. Well, we'll have everybody listening here in the Central Valley, because I think the band should open up here, and we will have good stuff. You know, I think the buttons are coming off my seersucker suit, so I'm trying not to stretch around too much, because I'm not good with the needle and thread. I end up so do the thing where you sew your fingers together. Yeah, well, that's me. All right. Thanks, Chrissy. See you there. Thanks for joining us. Over to SWL 13, Mr. Cobra. I do have, the comments sections are working at oldtuberadio.net. I will make sure that I try and keep an eye on those. I think it's on the right screen at the right time. Then, let's see, let's head over to SWL 16. Charles out there in Anoka, Minnesota, who is joining us with the lighting, helping us with the light. Lighting looks pretty good. It's hard to do the lighting. You know, this is radio, but you have to do some lighting because of the video thing. It's hard to do it when you have light coming in from the back and in from the front. So we've got little gel covers on the lights and all that good stuff. So we've got that going good. SWL 17. SWL 18. I think 18 went into Facebook jail. Let me get a proxy in for KDA. SWL 19 in good old Derby, New York, and Chet is here and he's pointing at the desk. This is yours. This is what fell out of my chair. It is the biggest. It says Sharpie Magnum permanent marker. Oh, that's what you use for the cue cards. All right, let me see. That is, whoa, man, that is the good stuff. Whoa, that is very aromatic. What is in this? All right, let me put the cap. Don't take the cap off near anybody. All right, danger, harmful or fatal if swallowed. Vapor, harmful. Now, when everybody has a good time when you're writing the cue cards. All right, here you go. Let me give you. Say, that's how you write the cue cards. That's a big thing. All right. Thank you for checking in. Let's go over to SWL 20. Hello, Harvey. I know he's out there. He's probably waiting for the delay. I talked to him. I'll get Harvey checked in. He might be doing an eBay thing too. You know, that last second where you have to press the button or click the mouse. He's probably ready there. Over to SWL 21 JT from Old Radio Night. I tried to load the video, and if it goes off just before the program here, it takes a while to load because it's 2 or 3 hours. But I have another item. The skip was so good, and of course, JT, I don't know what your power bill is. I think you're running a shockwave? Whatever you do, you made it into Fresno, into the Central Valley. Let me see if I have this is queued up from a couple of hours ago. Make sure I got the audio ready. Here is DD21 JT beaconing through, and I think it was channel 12. Here we go on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Hey, everybody out there around Fresno, California, all the SWLs. Snow Beast, I can't get him. He's this one on man half the time, and he can't hear 21. I did talk to him a couple times though. That's at Snow Beast, I think 188. SWL number is. But everybody out there around Old Tube Radio Network, it's 21 in South Carolina. SWL 21. We're waving. Standing by.
All right, that was live. You can hear it fading in and out. And doing a good job here with the Galaxy tonight. Looking good.
10-4. I'm going to turn the light back on. Let's see. 10-4. Appreciate it there. Dennis, appreciate it. That's great, man. Made my night.
All right, and there it was. DD21 checking in on the Old Tube Radio. There it is. DD21 was checking in on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Sounding good doing it. So thank you, 21.
I missed.
And 20 is in there too. I just wanted to get that replay from the great conditions we were having with 21. 20 is at the radio bench, and you'll probably have some radios for us tonight.
Well, maybe. Probably not. I'll leave that to Cliff. Check me in 29 and 54. Thank you.
All right, I'll get the proxy check-ins. I see Mr. Ed, SWL7 jumping. They must have had a break in the action. I got you checked in, Ed, at hope you are. I got a proxy. We'll undo the proxy. Hope you come back without empty pockets. So 7 is in, 20 is in, 21 is in.
Breaker.
And the breaker, go ahead.
Tennessee Proxy in 50 and Ditch Bank, and check me in early 650.
All right, so that's you of course, Ditch Banks, and who was the other one? Over.
50 Monkey Mark.
50. I will do that indeed. So thanks for the update.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody else. See you later. See you next week.
All right, sounding good. Okay, boy, and I've got to see JT's power bill on a Saturday night. I just for that one day when he's talking all over. Sounding good. Old Tube Radio Network, if I didn't say what this is, it's a gathering of like-minded stations, individuals, shortwave listeners, tube radio operators that like to promote the use, distribute information about the old classic radios from Class D, 1958 to 1978. Maybe you know about them, maybe you have one, maybe you don't. Stay tuned. We will be talking with the tube operators and checking in the radios coming up. Right now, we're saying hello to our shortwave listeners, the SWLs. So you don't even have to have a radio to play along. Isn't that cool? Anyway, the Old Tube Radio Network. My name is Dennis, Net Controller, and we have been doing this since the mid-1980s, almost every Saturday evening at 8 o'clock Pacific Coast Time, Daylight Standard, whatever it is these days. And so welcome back, welcome in, and we are having a good time. At least we're trying to anyway. Did I call SWL 22? Well, I think I just did. SWL 23, I do believe the Echo Link is set up. So let me, while I'm thinking about it here, let me see if the Echo Link is up and ready, and we'll see if we can't get a beaconing. I think he has a pipeline into Elon Musk and Starlink. That's why we do so well with this. So let me see if we've got the 23 Skidoo KP6 GFD listener. Well, I think he's out there. I saw the beacon light. I saw the beacon pilot light going on, but I'm not hearing any audio. That could be my issue, but we'll keep it up. I've got the audio ready to go here. And let's see, but it's like 354870. 354870 is the Echo link up tonight, I do believe. Let's go to SWL 24.
24, check it in.
24, checking in, sounding good. Joe, we've got the X in the square. And my screen is getting covered up to see my comments. All right, that looks good. Let's try SWL 25. I think he might be doing the music. He might be signing autographs tonight, so I'll get 25 checked in. Let me do, before I turn the page, check out who is listening and with us tonight. Up in the balcony, way up there, we've got Seaside, California, Georgetown, Ohio, Dallas, Georgia, coming up to you. Also in the building tonight, Conway, South Carolina. Hello to Nelson. Now, Nelson is not a person per se, but a town and a civil parish in the borough of Pendle in Lancashire, England, with a population of just under 30,000 long ago, listening in early Sunday morning, where it's a little over 50 degrees and cloudy. Thanks for joining us over on the Old Tube Radio Network. Also, we're listening in tonight, as always, Florence, Kentucky. Hello to San Francisco, Inez, Kentucky, at or near. These locations are not accurate, but they're close. The unknown SWL, somewhere with a paper bag over their head. Woodland Park, Colorado, listening in for the skip. And Redondo Beach, hello to you. Fresno Fish Camp, Louisville, Kentucky, right here in the, not even in the orchestra pit. Close enough to smell the fumes out of the magic marker, out of the big Sharpie, going with the cue cards here. Let's go to page 2, SWL 27.
Break.
And the break station, this is OTR, go ahead.
46.
36. Did I hear that correctly?
46.
46. All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got flat side on 20 east.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if I'm north, east, south, or west, but I hear you over.
10-4.
All right, we got you checked in. Thanks for joining us here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Thank you, sir.
Page 2. Make sure I'm on the right page. We called 27. And then we'll call SWL 28, and if we had the short skip, indeed, Gary would be beaconing in from a little bit north of here, north and to the right, I think. But he's checking in, long 3 days of shoveling river rock into the landscape. What do they call that? A cobble or something? And it's loud. You know that rock in your shovel? It's probably. I hope you wore some hearing protection. I've done that before. It's like not fun. It's heavy. It's harder than it looks, and it's loud. But anyway, I hope it looks good. Now it's the time for some fun, and gonna let the monkeys out. We will see. Hopefully, they're not the bad kind that are happening up there in. With the monkeypox. Don't want that. All right, we've got a proxy check-in for SWL 29. We have a check-in for SWL 30. Dwayne is just waiting. He's near the Eagle. He's got the Robin fired up, and if there is any chance that there's going to be conditions tonight, I bet that's one station that we will be hearing. SWL 31. Well, I'm hearing somebody way in the background there. If they're breaking for OTR or anybody's got a 10-5, help me out. SWL 32. SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control, the Jingle Singers. Where is Bozo? Where's Bozo Control? Oh, the honking proboscis. Yeah, all right. Everything is good in the universe. SWL 34, Jimmy Railroader, Little Toot, from near Chicago, where it's later than you think, but they're probably doing something fun. I will get them checked in. They might stop by in a little later, which will be okay. SWL 35 from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Bill was in earlier. checking in about an hour ago. I listened to the skip. It was longer than that because Mr. Bill has a station that has made it in and can make it in. But right now we've got no conditions, so there's no check-in, so I'll put an X in the square for cornbread. In fact, he needs no conditions to check in. Because if there's conditions, I think I would hear him. I don't know about that. Let's try SWL 36. SWL 37.
SWL 37, good evening to us.
All right, hello, radio from Midtown Fresno. I've got you checked in, and enjoy the evening.
I'm going to try. I'll be back.
Over to SWL 38. Sam is listening in from Byron, California. No conditions. You know, I actually went down to Channel 6 when conditions were 40 over on some of the signals. And I did hear John. I heard Motormouth Mall kind of way in the background, and there was two stations. The stations either saying that they weren't calling Motormouth Mall and trying to talk to someone else, and the stations that were saying they were trying to talk to Motormouth Mall and ignoring everyone else. That's what we hear on the West Coast here, with MMM about 100 miles away. Over to SWL 39. SWL 40.
SWL 40, checking in from the room here. Wow, all my modulation's pretty loud. From Chinatown.
All right, I hear you. I wonder what was happening with that audio. It must sound like you're on a Regency Imperial there. All right, so you're sounding good. You've got it adjusted, and hope all is well in Seatown tonight. Okay. Hey, I got a good evening from Super Loop listening in. Yeah, there are some conditions going on. I don't know. I don't think we're getting the E-skip stuff. Well, we might with the heat wave and ducting and stuff like that. If anybody knows, it would be Super Loop. Let's see who else is on the celebrity list tonight. Out of Kansas, hello, Toby. Out there, Midwest Sound. I love the radio room. Toby is working on the Shack du jour, and he's got a spot for the old radios. I love the Hallicrafters. I think that's a 37, or is it a 32 you've got? Anyway, and I like the idea with the cabinets underneath. I like the monitors. I am anxiously awaiting to see that and getting some ideas. This table I have here, this I did about 35 years ago. It's just the door. It's a solid core door to hold all the weight. And I've been lugging this thing around for 35 years. The rest of the stuff is sort of gone. I had a really nice shelf, but not anything like what Toby is doing. It looks great. So all that stuff, all that work is going to pay off. Thanks for joining us tonight. Sam is in. Hey, all right. He was trying to check. I didn't hear you, Sam, but I know you're there, and I see I got an X in the square for SWL 38. Let me head up to Road Dog 507, SWL 41. Checking in, of course, from the Hudson Valley CB Radio Club, Hudson Valley, New York. Saying a good evening to everyone. Also joining us tonight, Levon is in. Hello, Levon. I hope the OTS Browning is doing well. Also, 007 Extreme CB joining us from the Hamvention. Oh, that's right. It's going on, and it started again. I hope everybody... Did it rain? Somebody said it was a mud fest, so I'm thinking it might have rained, and they were doing some of the swap meet stuff. But other than that... I hope you're finding and getting some good deals. If you're trying to sell things, I hope people are opening the wallets and doing good. Colo Radio, hello from waving from Tucson, Arizona. Says, thought we'd all be at the Hamvention. Well, I wish. Someday. I'll put that on my list. I'll make it's not a West Coast thing, but a lot of the guys here on the West Coast do manage to get out there, especially the ones that can fly in their own private little airplanes. Foxman362 is in with us tonight. Thanks for listening in. Hello, Radio Heroes. Thank you, Jackie. Sounding good. Eric D, Operator Ken, saying hello. 133, Operator Ken. All right, there we go. Who else is in on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight? AJM Jazz, of course, listening in. So you're from Palm Springs, is that Eric? Am I copying that right? Steve D is in. We're at 75 degrees and 85 degrees humidity. The humidity should never be more than the temperature, except it does that in Fresno, but then we have fog. Northern Redneck listening in on Echolink from cold Minnesota, 35 degrees. Well, maybe I was wrong when I said the weather is great everywhere. But he needs to move somewhere warmer. Or just turn on some radios. Just turn on more tube radios. And it will get warmer. It was 80-something. Heck, I'm dressed in a suit and a tie, and I don't know. I bet it's 80 in here, but we've got the window open, so things should be good. I just want to say hello to everyone that's jumping in on the video, scrolling through. Oh, Keith, Sierra Radio is listening in from Rocky Mount, Virginia. Lots of lightning here in the evening. Yeah, you can hear these static crashes. Foxman 362 wants to know where you can get one of those large Sharpies. That's like a 12-pack. Where is it? Give me. I want to get it back from. Look at this thing. I know I'm taking an old Buzzard transmission here. Look at this. This is. Where's the camera? I wouldn't do the close-up, but that is. Look at the size of my. I mean, look at compared to my hand, and you take the top off, and the aroma is devastating. I mean, I might have to run around the green room with. All right, sorry. He wants his marker back. All right, one more. Let's see, Travis. I'm coming up to you. I won't miss you. And here we go. All right, let me let the tubes cool off. Old Tube Radio Network. We will be checking in radio, so stay tuned for that. Over to SWL 42. SWL 43. Got our proxy in for Crazy Eddie. SWL 44. I did not hear Ray on the ditch banks, so I don't know. I wonder if he's in town or visiting a little bit. UDX 666. I think that's the Utah guys, right? Utah DX. I heard them talking about you on Old Radio Night, waving to them from the left coast of California. Sabotage 666. And Crash 350 is in as well. Let's go up the hill to Paul. 45, can you hear me through the noise? Hello, Paul, over.
45, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you good. It's quiet down here in the valley. I don't know for you all up there, but I hear you just fine. Hopefully we'll get a radio in tonight. All right, 73, Paul. Hello to you and Kelly. SWL 46 checked in earlier. SWL 47.
Good evening, sir, from the Lounge of Radios. This is SWL 47.
From the Lounge of Radios. There are many radio lounges, but yours in particular always sounds good. I've got the X in the square. I don't know if the pool is going. It should be. The barbecue is going. It probably is, and we'll have radios going a little bit later.
Oh, yeah, just getting home with the Pablo's Pizza, but we're rolling over here.
All right, sounds like a fun evening, and we'll try to keep it that way. Thanks for checking in. SWL 48. Shortwave listener 49. SWL 50, check-in, proxy check-in for Monkey's Uncle. SWL 51, Dave 305 out of Sanger. Sounded really good on sideband last night at the Ditch Banks sideband net, and I see you on the video. 305, I'll get you checked in. Oh, man, and Chrissy, you're making me hungry. Says he doesn't have a recipe for tonight, and that's okay. We've got some great recipes in the past from Chrissy, but said tonight that's what I wanted. I just had a plain old salad, but tonight Chrissy had a hamburger, French fries with milkshakes made out of mint chocolate chip, one of my favorite ice creams. And now I'm hungry. And why did I have a salad? I don't know. But anyway, Chrissy, you're making my mouth water here. Let's go to SWL 52. And you know what? I thought I saw. Let me go way back to the top of the items here. I thought I saw Mr. USY on my chart. Kenny's in. Hey, 69. I'll make sure you get checked in. Tony is in. We'll get to you. I see you on Echolink, neutral observation. Hopefully tuned back in. And the break OTR, hello, radio. Go ahead, 61, over.
61,
All right, yeah, it's a little noisy, but I hear you, and 61 is checked in, over.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, 61 is checked in. Hello to Hemorrhoid and Paul W. And I was just trying to see. Private Thor is in. Very good. If we had a check-in, I really thought I did see 52 in there, but I'll keep an eye out. This is the direct-to-net roll call. I'm trying to make my way through it here. We'll be checking in radios. We are up to SWL 53. Mr. Belair checked in earlier. Aaron, if you're listening, I got you checked in. Page 3 is where we're going. You'd think this would be easy by now. You'd think that the net control guy would figure out how to do this. SWL 54, board jammer checked in. Let's try SWL 55. SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just because I can.
Just because he can. I see the walking man, the running man is beaconing from out there beyond the trees. And let's see, my little guy is up, and there should be a weather. Okay, let's check the weather beacon. Let's see if I can get that. The weather beacon at the college. Temperature is 77, humidity is 22 right now. It gives barometric pressure in millibars. The wind is northwest, gusts of 2 miles per hour. Is there such a thing as a gusting 2 mile an hour wind? I don't know, but that's the weather here in Midtown Fresno. Thank you, Phil. Going back to my page, we should have an SWL 57, a brown dog audio, BDA. Check out, there he is checking in. The smell of fresh cut grass. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. A storm rumbling in the distance and the hum of an old tube radio in the background. Life is good. That's waxing poetic. I wish I had some music. I wish I had some music to go underneath that. That's life in central Kentucky. The smell of fresh-cut grass, a storm rumbling in the distance, and the hum of an old tube radio in the background. Life is good. Well, it is. We got you checked in. Thanks for joining us tonight. And my computer is running super slow, but I did go in and do all those things that's supposed to make it not so slow. Let's get a check-in for SWL 58. I was listening for Jeremy. I was hearing his area coming in on 11 meters for a while. I thought he might stop by, but of course, the skip is few and far between. But I get him checked in. SWL 59, Uncle Hairball is in, looking good on ORN tonight, and also likewise on OTR. All right, it sounds like we might have some of the mini grass coming in. oldtuberadio.net, the live stream and the audio. You can say hello, check in there. The video is up. There's a link there. And, of course, live and direct, SWL's and tube radio operators alike on channel 11, 27085. SWL 61, no, I'm sorry, I'm skipping things. SWL 60, hello, Joe.
Hello, Dennis. Shout out to all the SWLs. SWL 60, checking in.
All right, we got a lot of people listening, a lot of people coming back to the radio here. Cycle 25 has been good, and you are sounding good as always. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Dennis.
Dino, SWL 61, checking in just moments ago, pulling me out of the mud. He always sounds good here. SWL 62, I wish I had the replay of DD21 of JT beaconing in to Central California. And last night, I think it was last night, 62 caught me on 40 meters. And we had a great chat. He was 5 over S9. But I didn't have the recorder going, or else I would be playing back some of the California to North Dakota QSO, King Duckford. Got 62 checked in. If you're out there tonight listening, hope we can catch you again on 40 late in the evening. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did.
Contact.
And the contact, go ahead, over.
Hey, Dennis, 70 Mobile requesting an early check-in before the mini grass buries me, over.
All right, I recognize your voice. We're on the right page. We're coming up. It is good to hear you. The subject of you came up on the Wednesday Night Net about how things were going. So at least the mobile radio is working, and thanks for jumping in. I hope all is going the way you would like it to.
Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's all good, just crazy, busy stuff, and this is my first time on the air in at least a couple months, so anyhow, we're gonna cook something up, and I'll come out later and move around, see if I can pick you up if you guys are still around later on, but thanks very much, Dennis. Have a great evening. 70 Mobile, over.
All right, 70 Mobile actually doing a good job. No problem jumping in through the skip and all that stuff. And thanks for remembering the Saturday night place to be.
Thanks for being there.
All right, do I have the wrong date? Do I have the wrong date up on the... No, that is so weird. It's showing up as February 19th, 2022. Anyway, I see Superloop's comment talking about the PR40. And yeah, the RE27. I used to have an RE27 in the Heil mount here, and that peg makes it very... You can get it in there, but that peg makes it very difficult to get into the Heil microphone mount. But I got it in there. And then when I try to take it out, it makes it extremely difficult to come out, and it pulls out the little plastic sleeve. But I fixed that, and I'm running the very ugly but works well condenser AKG microphone. And Easy Street, 2 months ago. That is so weird. I don't know why the date is showing up strange, but Greg, I hope you're getting a good internet connection here tonight to get us in there. If you can join us, stay on. All right, King Duckford is in. Let's go to SWL 63. Well, I'm never going to get through the roll call tonight. SWL 65. That's okay. SWL 64. 700 Weed Killer is in. Yeah, a lot of people jumping in tonight. Must be a good Saturday evening for radio stuff. SWL 65, Eric. Plus, we've got some stations on Echolink we'll be coming up to. SWL 66. I'm getting 66 checked. I heard him on 6, running the bowl as he does here, keeping Central California on the map, Mr. Witch Doctor. 66, you're checked in. We'll also get a check-in for SWL 67, Bill, up in Canby, Oregon. I hope your internet connection is good. SWL 68.
I've checked in, all awards.
And Paul, Paul, I do hear you. 45, we got you checked in, over. SWL 68 is Mike Cole. I don't see him on the thing. SWL 69, Kenny in Tulsa was on listening earlier. Kenny, if you're still listening out there in Tulsa, I know it's late, but we got you checked in. SWL 70 checked in moments ago from the mobile. He's working on a killer base station. We are hoping to hear that soon. SWL 71 Stan, who has been one of our first, when we went to the audio stream, one of our first digital check-ins. Stan has been doing it for, 10 years, I bet? Something like that? I don't know. I wasn't on HF much. I don't know if there's contests going on. I think everybody's just happy that the bands are open. Even 20 meters has been a 24-hour ban now. SWL 72. SWL 73. Got a proxy check-in for SWL 74. You know, I could use about 4 more monitors. I want to see how many monitors Toby puts up on his new Radio Shack rebuild. I think I need at least 3. These days, with a 21st century radio station, you know, you almost need 3 monitors for SDRs and computer things, unless you go old school. Otherwise, you just need a Regency Imperial and the microphone that came with it, and nothing else. You'll still have a good time, guaranteed. Let's go to SWL 75. Yeah, OBP. I know what I do is I go to the FT8 frequency, tune in, and if I hear the little I know that the band is open somewhere. Okay, 2 monitors. 2 monitors is good. The room is pretty big. I bet you'll have a way to sneak in another one if you want, or to just make them big enough. That's my problem. I'm looking at all this real estate above here. It's like, I got to get rid of this so I can see the monitors and then put in the racks. But anyway, I love the shack. Okay, let's go to SWL 75. 75. Over to SWL 76. SWL 77. Why, your station's way down, but I'm probably not for us. Get a proxy for 77. SWL 78. I gotta catch Richard on 40. I know he's out there. I'm just never on the right time. SWL 79. Philip was in earlier talking to Joe, I think, so DC, if you're in, I'll get you checked in. Then we go to, let's see, logically we would go to SWL 80, right? After 79. And then logically after that, before I turn the page, I think it is time to find out what's happening with Bob and Steve here tonight.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
From Ohio. I don't know how they do so much from long distance, but they do, and we appreciate it here at the Old Tube Radio Network. What is going on episode 116 for May 21st? They're having singles and doubles ping pong tournament. I noticed the tables were lined up. They got the little area all nice and cleaned of the leaves, and the tables are lined up. I think we have some in the corner of the green room if you want to try out. Sign up on the billboard in the elevator or near the elevator. It looked like a lot of people were going for that. I have sort of this hand-eye coordination thing going on, so I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm in the lowest division, but it looks like it's fun, so sign up. Winners, I am signing up. The winners will receive a $100 gift card from Costco. Oh, yeah? And an evening on the town in the Big Red Limo. I got a ride in the Big Red Limo the other day. What was going on? I just wanted to do... There was a thing going on downtown, And we wanted to kind of show off. And so, of course, the big red limo came to mind. And down Van Ness Avenue we drove with all the other classic cars. So thanks to the big red limo for giving us a little bit of savoir-faire or whatever they call it. Anyway, the policemen and the firemen's families have special hours at the pool, and they can stay all day if they want to. Yeah, it's sort of like those days they have at Disneyland. They used to have a special day at Disneyland for graduating seniors, and a lot of the companies down in Southern California when I was living down there had special days where you could jump in, and that was back in the days of the E-tickets and the C-tickets, and you didn't even need tickets. So you don't need tickets to get to the pool, policemen and firemen's families, so just jump in and have a good time. Next weekend is Memorial Day, so remember to drive safely and wear your seatbelt. Actually, you have to, doesn't it beep and buzz and do all sorts of crazy things, but do it anyway. The Jingle Singers cleaned my desk. Yeah, but I got it dirty again. I couldn't even find my pen. I was hoping that they wouldn't go all out in cleaning. Pens and pencils will return to the correct pocket protectors. That was the thing, and I do have... Where is it? Okay, Chet's got it. Yeah, I do have one for the pocket protector tonight. Very nice. Yeah, it was getting a little bit odd to figure out where the pens were and too many in there. So it's always nice to have some help because I need a lot of help around here. At the bar tonight from the Dayton Xenia Hamvention, Ohio. Yeah, Hamvention is back. Now that is a doggone good thing. Hope everybody is getting to go if they want. What's going on? Pulled pork sandwiches, potato salad, baked beans, hot homemade butter rolls, beer and wine on Bob and Steve. Thank you, gang. And join us after the net. Of course, don't forget to feed the fish.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
Page 4 coming up.
Hey, Dennis.
This is the basic Dennis, over.
Did you get the 131 yet?
No, but if you need to check in, I'll grab you.
Well, do so. Thank you very much.
All right, just letting things... After that old buzzer transmission, I just wanted to let things cool down, but we've got you. Page 4 is where we're at, checking in. SWL 81. I thought of Mr. Steve Areno today because they're having the big annual blocks and block long yard sales out in his old stomping grounds, and remembering heading over to his QTH and getting some great tubes and some old radios and things like that. So, Steve Areno, I know you're listening. So they're still doing good. Let's go to, I got a proxy or a check-in for SWL 82. Reminder, Ron runs the Ditch Banks sideband net on Friday evenings here in the Central Valley on 36 lower sideband, 27,365. Listen in. All check-ins are welcome, visitors and roll call alike. Listen to see where that skip is coming in tonight. Paul Williams, hello, saying good day to the Old Tube Radio Network. Let's try SWL 83. SWL 84. Jerry was sounding good on the Jefferson Noontime net. I will get him checked in, and likewise the Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. Over to SWL 89. SWL 90. From the Bronx, SWL 91. And got a couple of Echolink check-ins coming up here. Felix is in, of course, saying hello, radio, and giving a big hand to all the tube-rater operators, SWLs, and even one for me. Thanks. The buttons are still on the seersucker suit. That should give me some points right there. Next week, I don't know about. Let's go over to SWL 92. SWL 93. Shortwave listener 95. And John, I'm glad somebody's feeding the fish. And who is checking in? Over. Heard somebody checking in. 95, I got you. Checking in from Orlando, Florida. I'm still waiting for that. I had that one good contact into Florida on 40 meters, but the band hasn't been that good for me. SWL 96, out in near Kermantown, Mr. Prune Picker Dennis, if you're listening, I've got you checked in.
I'm down under cruising up this way. Let me get my ground plane on down the tracks, Animal in the northwest corner, Washington State. We're getting up.
There you go. I knew it was going to come in.
Hey, Woodsman. Hey, Woodsman down around New Zealand. What do you think? Hey, Woodsman. Animal up here in the northwest corner, Washington State.
And I love the way it just kind of pops in and goes away. We'll get some check-ins here tonight. SWL 97.
Woodsman, Animal. Hey, Woodsman, it's the Animal up here in the corner.
SWL 98, Tracy, I can hear you. I heard you last night. Let's put it that way. Maybe not on AM with the skip running, but I know you're out there listening up in the... I said, don't forget to look way up in the balcony. Anyway, Tracy, got you checked in.
Station.
Station, go ahead, over.
Dennis, have you heard Dennis out there at all?
I have not heard 1017. I've heard rumors that he is well into the salt mines these days, so it's keeping him busy.
Okay.
All right, and 133 Pismo. Yeah, I wish I was there. Waving a hand to Fresno. Checking in. It was her hearing... I'll keep an ear. Yeah, anybody that hears 1017, let us know. I was hearing Motormouth Mall. I don't know. He's not that close to Pismo. I think he's near Santa Maria. That's not too far, but I know if you've got enough power, you can get through. But hopefully you're not getting too much of the June gloom or the May mud or whatever happens out there when it's really hot here in the valley, as you know. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Let me fire up the Echo link and see if the link is working. And we haven't heard from Tony in a while, so we'll check in with South Carolina, KD4BAO, KB6GFD, listening. Over.
Hey, Dennis. This is KD4BAO. Please check in SWL 100. That's net control.
All right, will do. Thanks for jumping in tonight, remembering that we had the link going on, and that is a good thing. Hope all is well at the QTH there, and you're making some good contacts. We appreciate the check-in. Thanks. KB6GFD. All right, pretty good from South Carolina. Tony checking in live and direct on Echo Link. SWL 102 checked in as 00, and yet again so 102. Thank you, John, for the coupon special. All right, he's 15 miles southeast. Yeah, I bet he's very loud. Unless he turns the beam to the side, right? That side rejection probably cuts things way down. You do a horizontal vertical polarization and a side rejection. A 60-over signal can be about S5. And we tried that before, a couple blocks away. It's amazing what you do cross polarity for cutting things down if you want. Let's go to SWL 103. Plus, I'm looking to get with John. He does 40-meter AM. He has a neat little SDR radio, and I finally got an antenna and some gear set up to chat with him, and I haven't heard him on 40 AM. So, if so, we'll make some recordings with that. Let's go to up to Auberry, SWL 109. And the skip is starting to roll in, so I'm probably going to get covered up on the long-distance stations. SWL 110. Yeah, his beam's always pointed east. That makes sense. Unless he wants to talk to the mini-grass, then he'd have to crank it around. Get the 4 horses and pony that thing around. But yeah, I guess it makes sense. Just beacon it at what is it? Would be 90 degrees on the rotor. Let's go to SWL 111. Robert checked in earlier, said it was nice to hear the skip, but, you know, it's not good for the local. Anyway, Robert, if you're listening, I got you checked in. Shortwave listener 113. Now, I haven't been able to check into the Echo Link was down or something for the Friday night net to hear if Tom is getting in there. I'll give Tom a proxy check-in out of Sanger. Let's see if I can make it through the mini-grass. Let's try SWL 114.
114, checking in.
All right, Rickshaw, thanks for getting me through all the noise. You are sounding good as always. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you for the check-in, Dennis.
All right, it's 9 o'clock hour. We will be concluding the roll call here shortly, and we'll be getting to the tube radio, so don't go away. If you got a tube radio, get ready to check it in. Over we go over to Fairfax, Virginia, SWL 128. John says the temperature was 94. Same tomorrow. Way too early for this. Well, it was 94, but again, I read off that thing, our humidity, and I know yours is not this low, I don't think, where you're at, was 28 at 8 o'clock, so it's less than that. So hopefully it's not too miserable at 94. Maybe it makes for good, maybe there's some good, right? It makes for some good conditions, I don't know. SWL 131, Mr. Rude checked in moments ago. Let's head over to Northwest Fresno and see if I can copy Dave, SWL 133. All right, I hear something. Was that you, Dave, 133, over? All right, I think that's Skipland coming in. Let's go up to Cliff, SWL 135.
SWL 135 checking in.
135 checking in and sounding good doing it. Got the X in the square. And Dwayne, I see it. Yeah, the best thing to do is, if you're not feeling good, you know, don't push it. Get some rest. That's what they say, right? Get some rest. So we will definitely catch you next week. 73 up there. If you want to listen in from the horizontal position, do so. I'll see if we can get some skip that way. But we got you guys checked in, and always appreciate you jumping in and joining us when you can on the radio. So have a great rest of your evening. Let's try, is it time? Let me see if 137 is in. And we'll try an Echo Link. Tony is good at doing the Echo Link, and I think he was doing the net that way. Again, I've missed the last couple because I wasn't able to get an Echo Link connection. So let's see if Tony is going to join us via Echo Link. AJ6PD from KB6GFD.
Well, good evening, Dennis and the group. Tony, SWL 145. Remote on Echo Link from Marina, California, which is a little bit north of Monterey. Thank you for the check-in, Dennis.
All right, thanks for joining us. If I called you 147, I meant 145. Tony and Course called via the Echo Link. I don't know how they do that, but you sound like you're right here, doing a good job. Thanks for the Friday night nets, and thanks for taking some extra time to link up here on the old Tube Radio Network 73. All right, speaking of link-ups, let's see what is happening up in Kakalaki, Fayetteville, North Carolina, SWL 147. Hello, Neil, checking in from Kakalaki where it's hot. Yeah, it seems to be going around the coast there, right? 100. Well, I don't know what to say. We're going to get 100, but again, we're not going to get the humidity that you all have. 98 today, you know what I mean? Fresno, yes, we do. Conditions good on occasion. Midwest and some West Coast, 73 from Kakalaki. All right, Neil, I think we're going to hear you sometime. We definitely get some good conditions that way, so thanks for joining us tonight. Let's head over. If he's here on frequency and got the beams cranked down, so he's not shooting over the top here. SWL 188. He might be out, getting on somebody's YouTube video. He always gets those good water gates. Or are they video gates? All right. I'm falling apart here. I'm getting so excited. Let's head up to, I'll try Corscall. I know it's rough. Hello, 195. Hello, Jim. Over.
Hey, 195. I can hear you, Dennis. Hopefully you can hear me. It's pretty noisy up here.
Yeah, you're doing fine. I think we're getting the gray line coming the other way. So, doing good. We've got you checked in. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dennis. I hope I'm not cutting you off. Thank you, Dennis. Have a good evening.
Nope, sounding good. 100%. And let me go over to 226 Shockwave. And anybody else that I missed or needs to get checked in before we head over to the tube radios?
Break OTR?
The break OTR. Go ahead, please.
109 Crawdad with a late check-in.
Hey, not a problem. I figure you might have trouble hearing my mud duck station up there with all the noise going on, but you sound great here, and we've got you checked in. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dennis. It's hard to hear you over all that skip.
Yeah. Well, thanks for pulling me out. All right, 109 is in. All right, I'm going to jump out of the room for just a second, make sure that all the tube radios are ready to go. We'll be back, and we'll be checking in your radios and anything else that happens. The old Tube Radio Network, back in a bit.
Back in a bit. That old Tube Radio.
And it's going to be a fun evening, methinks. The Old Tube Radio Network standing by.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
The Old Tube Radio Network, thanks for joining us. Boy, lots of audio on the REA meter tonight. I will try to talk softly and hopefully not talk very much, because we will let the tube radios do the talking tonight. OTR, let's get back to the radio room here, because I do have somewhere, where is it? Oh, the pocket protector pen of the evening, courtesy of Brilz, BRILZ TV service at 1110 and a half. 1110 and a half North 14th Street. So what's the other half? I don't know. In Bismarck, North Dakota. I wonder if King Duckford knows about this. In the 701 area code. Where's the broken camera? Let's see if we can get a shot. These pens are so, really well made. There it is, Brilz TV service, and you can see all the wires. See, this is what not to do with your Radio Shack. If you want to see how it's this towering thing, if you want to see how it's going to be done, tune in to Toby and Midwest Sound and take a look at what's going on there. And I have an HT 37, so I got to figure out how to get that 85-pound radio, and I've got an R390A, but that would go in the rack, so I don't know. We'll wait and see how it's done correctly before we do it. All right, we are ready for the tube radios. I will cease and desist, and we'll say this is the Old Tube Radio Network. We're listening for any and all check-ins.
135, 135.
All right, dragging my feet to see if there's anybody else. And of course, as the band changes and things quiet down, there should be. So, 135, jump up into the air chair from wherever you might be and take a transmission on your tube or radio. Tell us what you got, over.
I'm not that about it. Okay, Mr. Worldwide, I'm
having a tough time hearing you, Dennis. I don't know where all that skip came from. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you over.
Okay, I'll try to get this in here quick then. I want a frequency check on this one. This is the Polycom Senior 23. I know I checked this in recently, but Harvey did some work. He replaced the crystal for channel 11 and others, and the crystal synthesizer. And I was just wondering if we made it there. I should be pretty close to on frequency. Back to you.
All right, wanted to bring the radio up. I haven't done the frequency check yet. You are coming through the skip okay, but it's coming up. But getting some good gray line from not the mini grass, but way out in Australia. This is even louder than it was last night on the Ditchbank sideband net. So Polycom Senior 23. I don't know if I made a notation of your prior frequency, but go ahead and take a transmission. We'll find out what your frequency du jour is.
Okay, this thing was a little more KC low. It was at 27. Or something like that. It was pretty darn low. Yeah, this is the Polycom Senior 23. It has 14 tubes in this thing. That's a lot of tubes, and of course the polycall. So how's that? Back to you.
Not bad. I pressed the 0 beat button and was like, oh, he's right there. I just had to, if I put you exactly where I think your voice should be, I'm looking at 85.15. So very, very close. And I can copy fine at 85. There's no heterodyne. It's not even in the heterodyne realm yet. So you are pretty darn close for the radio that old. It has now become the senior once again.
Yeah, so mission accomplished. Oh yeah, and this is the usual mic. This is the metal Polycom microphone. Again, still unsure who makes these things, but you do see them with Collins gear and other radios. I think I've seen some of the old Viking radios use these too. It's a heavy metal, I think it's aluminum, handheld, unamplified microphone. With that, I'm going to I've got a couple of more radios that Harvey was working on as well. We're going to see how they came out. So I'll see you in a bit.
All right, thanks for starting us off with the Polycom and the audio radio check. Trying not to break the shack down. Sounds good and right on frequency. So thanks for starting off the old Tube Radio Network. Oh, and I also want to say hello. SWL62 is in. I proxied you in, Michael, because I mentioned our QSL. I think it was last night. Was it Thursday night, Friday night, where Michael popped in on a 40 meter and just like S9, 5 over S9, sounding good. From the Duckford Radio Shack there in Bottineau, North Dakota, doing a good job. So hopefully, and like I said, I was lamenting because I wasn't ready to do a recording. And we do a replay of how good you sound. Anyway, thanks for being in tonight. We got you checked in, and we are standing by for any and all radio check-ins here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
SWL10. SWL10, checking in.
SWL10, hello, 10. Hello, Chrissy. I don't know if you can hear me. We can hear you in Central California. The old Tube Radio hears SWL10, over.
I'd like to check in my Robin 23 channel. My ring Robin T123B.
All right, boy, what a great sounding radio. That's a radio voice for sure. Robin T123B, SWL10, up in Idaho, beaconing down to the Central Valley of California while we have some conditions. If you can hear me, Chrissy, take a transmission on the Robin radio, over.
Well, I can hear you. It's a little difficult to pull you out, but I'm doing. So you're sounding great up here in North Idaho.
All right, and you are right at about S7, S8 on the Robin T123 Bravo. Let me get a picture of that, and thanks for jumping in. Boy, you just popped in. The audio is great. I hope you are able to listen to the replay when you come back and get on the Universal Media Netweb. Chrissy, thanks for the radio check, and this is the Old Tube Radio Network, back to SWL10, over.
Okay, well, I'd like to say hello to Harvey, since he's the one that fixed this up and sent it to me. So thank you very much for letting me check this in.
All right, and thank you for bringing it by. Yeah, you can hear how good you sound on the replay. So I hear your voice coming back through the audio. SWL10, that's Chrissy up in northern Idaho, making a little e-skip conditions here to the Central California tonight and sounding really good on her old tube radio. It's been through the Central Valley, it's been back up to North Idaho, and now it's bringing the signals back. Pretty cool. Thank you, Chrissy, for joining in. I wish I could have joined you for dinner. It sounded very tasty, and I hope Dwayne gets a little bit of rest, but he will be proud of you tonight for the check-in, that is for sure. 73 SWL10 on the Old Tube Radio Network. And somehow I thought that would happen tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network, we are listening for radio number 3. And hello, Joe, SWL60. If you can hear me, take a transmission over.
Weather, Dennis. Thank you there for calling me out there. Dennis, I'm on my Johnson Messenger 2. We just got you tuned in. We had quite a bit of little waiting to do for the dial to more or less center in. But we are talking on the Johnson Messenger 2. I think this is, I figured it'd be 9 tubes, and you last time told me it had 10 tubes in it.
You're blowing smoke down here, man. You got a hammer down, man.
Wow, and the down under stations are coming up big, but you are making it through that. I might not be, because my old tube radio is not as good as yours. Does a good job. I think you've got me tuned in. That's a nice thing about having, if you've got a variable receive dial, you can kind of tune off to the side or off to the other side. I can make it real easy for you to hear me by going off a crystal frequency just a little bit in the opposite direction of the noise. Anyway, take another transmission on the EF Johnson Messenger. Let the whole world hear what it sounds like. Over.
No doubt about it, there.
Thank you much, Dennis. And we have got a little helper here, little JB. To kind of help it out with the conditions. The old neon light is on, showing that it is modulating. And we are on channel 11C on the indicator, channel 11. And of course you have your volume and squelch. But I'm not sure. I thought last time we went over it that you said I had 10 tubes in this one.
Let me see if I've got the Rolodex file that mentions what they're doing with the tubes. It says 10 channels. Maybe I misspoke. Well, no, the description says 10 tubes and 10 channels. So I wonder if my description is wrong, or perhaps, depending on the year of your Messenger 2, you could have had one more or one less if they got rid of some type of a rectifier tube or a vibrator tube or something. So 9 or 10, it's all good. Over.
Skip kind of came in here a little bit strong there, Dennis. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm assuming it's 9. You say 10. I think channels. I'm not sure. I thought this was a 23 channel. I have a lettering from A to Z, the something there. I can't see it from here, but doggone it, I think it is 23 channel.
All right. Well, if you're on a Messenger 2, you'll probably go from, let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J would be 10 channels. However, your receiver is 23 tunable on the receive, but on the transmit, on your A, B, C, D, that would be 10. So that's why it's a little bit difficult to send out, because you got to make sure whatever your A, B, C, D, you've got the receiver tuned up to the same one. But you're definitely working good here on channel 11. Over.
Thank you much. Yeah, I kind of cleared up the air a little bit there on that. We weren't sure there. So doggone it, well, appreciating you letting me check this one in. We've got another one getting ready, and I'm hoping it's sounding okay to you with a little helper.
No, it's great. And what microphone are you using with that again?
This is a D104 Lollipop desk mic.
Boy, perfect. That's a perfect microphone for that. It's got the good Johnson audio, those, the Viking 2 and the 223, all using sort of the same chassis base, but really good audio. Johnson was no spring chicken when it came to doing audio and nice, hefty transmitters. They just kind of had to pare these down for Class D. They were making 85-pound transmitters that did 85 to 100 watts for the amateur radio service. And when Class D came around, they kind of had to whittle them down, but they didn't skimp on the audio. They kept everything good. It sounds great, perfect match on the microphonium. Frequency is good, so all good for Radio 3, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 2. Back to you if you can hear me for transmission, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you much, sir, Dennis. I appreciate it all the time. Always appreciate it, man. Okay, we got another one warming up, and we'll let the old channel rock.
All right, and this is the Old Tube Radio Network from Central California, checking in the old radios from 1958 to 1978. You might have one that glows in the dark. Also, audio streaming at oldtuberadio.net, where there's a link to a live video going on at the same time. Join us over the air at 27085 Channel 11. We are listening for radio number 4.
Yeah. 135, 135.
And just was seeing who else was checking in. 135, take a transmission. Just want to say hello to any of those that may be hearing us out of the Central California area. You listen in or join us on the audio net at oldtuberadio.net or at the link to the video page as Squiddy Down South. Hippo Down Under, good day to you. Thanks for joining us here on the Old Tube Radio Network, and as you can hear, the band is open to your area. Right now, we're going to join radio number 4 at 9:28 Pacific Daylight Time. Hello, Mr. Green Arrow.
Hi there. Yes, this is SWL 135. The Green Arrow, that's me, on the Sonar Model E. I think from Brooklyn, New York, if I remember correctly. There are 9 tubes, but only 8 channels. And this is the original giant dark gray plastic unamplified hand mic. And wow, according to my meter, this thing looks like it's right on frequency. It's another a radio that I got a new crystal for channel 11 from Harvey today. And so we want to check out the frequency accuracy of this thing now.
Can do. And when we used to talk to Radio Ham Guy, and it's been a while. It's been a while since he has been on. I haven't seen him much on the YouTube. He was doing some YouTube videos. He worked at E.F. Johnson. I don't know if he worked at Sonar, but he did mention that sometimes it was hard to find the good crystals, but I think you may have done that in the Sonar. We've got a picture of your radio from the collection. It's the one that shows the Sonar meter at the top, so if we get a chance to talk about that, we will, but let me focus in on the radio. I love the mid-century modern look with the sculpted knobs and the rounded speaker, and the fact that you know what channel you're on because someone used that Dymo label maker. Take the on the next transmission, I'll see if I can find your frequency du jour.
Okay, yeah, I'm having some trouble getting this thing to get back into receive mode. There's always more problems to solve, eh? But, okay, we'll give a nice old codger transmission here. Hello. And see how close to on frequency I am. And yes, I am actually using that meter that you see in the picture. I've got that hooked up. You're somewhere between 30 and 40 over on that meter. It's a nice, generous meter. How's that? Back to you.
It sounds good. I want to acknowledge Squiddy Down Under Hippo, who is checking in from afar here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Sounding good. I think I got both you on the Sonar and Hippo Down Under joining us. So making it to the Old Tube Radio. It's a long distance and short distance. Now, here's the interesting thing. Cliff, I went to the zero beat. You are exactly on. If I go a low or high from 000, it doesn't sound like you. I mean, you are exactly on. Over.
I can't even work.
Well, one mission accomplished. One more to go. I got to figure out how to make this thing get the audio back after I unkey. But that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's my meter is flickering between 0850 and 0851. So yeah, it's just as close as it's going to get, I think. And with that, because like I say, I'm having trouble kicking this thing back into receive. I'm going to say until later on. I've got one more radio. I'll hook up. It'll take me a little while, and I'll check that one in later. Thanks for letting me check this one in. We'll see you.
Man, I was trying to check that Ken Lucas email, and I could have seen a man the whole time back to my radio. I appreciate you clearing out my Ken Bigger radio.
All right, I heard you. I was just listening to the skip plan to make sure that they weren't chatting with us to check in a radio. Sonar sounding good, doing a great job. That sonar audio, and you're not even pushing the thing hard at all. It's got great audio, and you could, if you wanted to beef it up, put a Demco modulator on that. But nice, good quality audio. Sounding great. Thanks for radio number 4, the Sonar Model E, back from, let me see if I've got a date on that. I want to say 1963, but I don't have the exact date. Also want to say, let's see, hello to, yeah, thanks Northern Redneck for the update on Larry. I know occasionally I'll see some posts from him, but I know I haven't seen any videos of late. So he was our first Larry was our first Echolink contact about 4 or 5 years ago, believe it or not. So always good to check in with him, and I think we did it through some repeaters and things like that. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radio's glowing in the dark. Let me add to the cacophony that is 11 meters this evening. The jingle singers will help us do that, and then we'll be back to check in some radios on your Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
Listening for radio number 5.
Coco Palms, is that you out there checking in? Hey, Coco Palms, a rug of the mail.
How about it, Dennis? 60?
All right, we'll try and slog through the skip land. You're sounding good. And Northern Redneck, yeah, I think we were, when we first did that Echolink with Larry, we were actually on the Albert Lee repeater. I don't have the video marked. I would have to go back, but we have it actually logged in the audio and maybe on the video when we did that Echolink contact with Larry. Radio number 5 at 9:35. And Mr. Hustler, I don't know what you got, but it always sounds good. To bring up and take a transmission here.
All righty, we'll give her a shot there, Dennis. We got our pretty little green radio. I think Christy would like to hear that we are on the Robin 123B. Not quite 40 channels, not quite 23, but yeah, a few extra channels to go in with it. And we are using today our external speaker for the external speaker switch we got here, and we are showing an amber light as I'm receiving.
Hey, I like that external speaker because it might make me sound better than I would out of the speaker out of the front, although that's a nice front-firing, probably full-fidelity speaker. And the Robin T123 is sounding good. You're almost as loud as Chrissy was from Idaho. You're sounding good. Take a transmission over.
Yeah, Roger, we kind of have her set where we think we can work with it. The volume squelches on and off. You can pull it, change the tone voices, which you do sound good on that A-ohm speaker that is running off the external speaker. Also has a fine-tune switch, which I tuned you in right now as you were talking. And, of course, the RF gain but don't need the RF gain as much right now with the skip, pretty heavy. This one is 10 tubes and has a kit in it, I guess, or some kind of work they did to this one, Dennis. It has a couple of switches to give me an extra 10 channels.
Yeah, I think they're flipping something in one of the synthesized tubes, 1972 to 1976, and the reason they stopped making that is because the FCC approved the 40 channels, and so they came out with the 240D. Always has great audio on that Panasonic chassis with 12AX7 and the mic preamp, and I'm not sure what the output tube is. 6BQ5, I think. Always great audio. You do have, does have, some of the models didn't get it, but that one's got the range expand, and I imagine you've got it turned on because it's sounding good.
Yeah, it's on position, and yeah, you can get the eggs and the bacon out. We're ready to cook up on top of this one. It must be a good 100 degrees.
Your comment is typical and of those that run at least the Robins, noting that they do run hot, but it's tubes. It's definitely tubes, so it's not like transistors. You run a transistor hot, you're going to be in trouble. But on a tube radio, they kind of like to run hot. So as long as you're not seeing smoke or smelling bad stuff, or, the bacon is cooking in record time, you're okay.
Yeah, Roger D. Okay, Dennis, thanks a whole lot there for letting me check in the pretty green radio of the Robin 123B.
And it's sounding good as the skip sort of fades out. Radio number 5 tonight, our second Robin of the evening. This one... The other Robin might have been about 800 miles away, and this one is probably a little less than 8 miles away, and they both sounded good, and there wasn't that much difference in the signal strength. So isn't propagation interesting on a Saturday evening? The Old Tube Radio Network, they're pointing me over to the green room. All right, jingle singers are ready. We'll be back in about 20 seconds with your Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are listening for radio number 6.
I heard someone out there waving there, man. I heard somebody out there waving, and I was trying to check your wheels, man, but I'm trying to check you out. Well, hippopotamus, one great big mouth trying to check your wheel there, come on.
And they're talking about whiskey over on the chat site. So is someone spiking the punch in the green room? I'll have to find out.
Yeah, man, I can't even check anything, man. I've got that much noise, I can't even sort it out. I'm back on the side. Bye-bye.
And Cornbread, I agree. All tube radios need a fan, or if they don't have a fan, they at least need a little bit of applause now and then.
So I don't get too much attention, LW, on the modulator. You can get back, come on.
And Popcorn 913 just came out of the balcony and gave me a coupon. All right, I've got a coupon to pick up some popcorn after the net. Thanks for that. The Old Tube Radio Network, Central California, listening for radio number 6. And don't forget the Squamish boys up there in the balcony with all their good stuff. If you can't make it down to the green room, please stop by. Albert and the gang will serve you up something great. And JT, that's what I'm missing. I'm missing a drum roll. We've got the fanfare of the trumpets and the horns, but somehow maybe a drum roll would be more apropos at times.
Hello, radio?
Hello, radio, over.
Is this too much?
I don't know, take a longer transmission and we will see, over.
Okay, how does that sound, over?
It's not bad. It sounds a little scratchy, but it's there.
Okay, I'm just curious. I was going to tell Hawaii to be quiet, but I'll turn it off and say hello. Can I have a break?
Yeah, I think they're trying to check in. Hippo is probably grabbing us some check-ins and will relay to them, but you're making it, with or without, you're making it over, no problem.
Okay, well, Dennis, this is 37. We'd like to check in a radio.
All right, you are in the chair of error, and I will say go ahead with your check-in, over.
And under. All right, I want to check in my general radio telephone, my Super MC11A 24-channel tuber that glows in the dark, and we are running this here with the original handheld stock microphone, over.
Now, that reminds me of the radio that I heard last week. But, I mean, can it be that consistent week after week after week?
Well, of course. It's a general.
A general radio telephone and a general radio telephone super, MC11A. Take a transmission.
All right, it just keeps on working, and I'm happy it does. I would be very upset when it quits, if it ever quits. I hope it never quits.
Maybe at that time, general radio telephone was merged with Timex, because it could probably take a licking and still keep on ticking.
Well, I'm sure it has. It's probably taken a licking here and there, over and over, off and on. So, but I'm not complaining. Just put it that way, over.
Yeah, well, it's doing good. Now, one of our listeners, Foreman 362. Says he has a tube radio from the 70s. It's the Kenwood TS520. I think that was the one that really brought things to the fore, the first transceiver, the TS520. Now, you also have a Kenwood, but I don't believe it has any tubes in it, right?
No, both of mine are all solid state.
All right, well, those were the hybrid radios, the TS520, the 820, the 830, where they had the sweet final tubes. They might have had a 6146s, but they had the tube transmitter and the solid-state receiver. Really a good format, and the 520 was really a groundbreaker for Kenwood. So working good. I don't know if we get any of those checked in. You probably have to put in a special crystal to get down on these frequencies. Not quite as easy as the ASU 101. By the way, your general radio telephone sounding good. We're marking it down as Radio 6. We'll go back to you for transmission, and thanks for jumping the radio room.
No problem. Yeah, both of my Kenwoods, I did have the ASU 101 E. I just had a 101 E. It wasn't a double E, it was an E. I talked to a friend of mine, Chris, up in Oregon, that bought it from me years ago, and it is an E, and he still uses it. But anyway, my Kenwoods now, I got the 930 sugar, and then I got the TS 680 sugar, which is a smaller one, runs off a power supply. But the other one, it needs some help. But hey, they both still work, over.
And working well. I just put up the S meter so people can see it. The listeners over the Universal Media Network are probably thinking, well, the audio is so good. That's me about 40 over signal. I just wanted them to show this is, S9, 10 over S9. The noise level is up to S8, S9 at times. And so what good audio can do, it'll make you sound like you're 40 over when you're not. Always a pleasure. Thanks for checking in.
You betcha, Des. All right, we're out, and we're going to see what we can do here.
Big time in the grass, getting down.
And some of our skip tonight having some really good audio. Over to the Jingle Singers on the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
Listening for radio number 7.
Roger, 470. You sound good, man. You got a good sounding radio out there, 470. Take care. Big Shot getting down.
And listen to that audio. Listen to that audio from Big Shot, sounding good on AM.
That's Cobra 29 talking. That 29 is talking out here around Hawaii. Take care, 470, Mr. B.I.G. Shot in the Kingdom of Hawaii. I'm gone.
And GSW, I agree. The beautiful downtown Burbank. And sometimes the engineers were sitting at the kitchen table figuring out the next move for the general radio telephones. And Cornbread, the IC 101, the 301, the 901. I'm not sure if the 107 was a hybrid. The 102, which I have a few of, is definitely a hybrid. Cool radio running not one, not two, but 3 6146s in the final. Awesome radio. Both AM and sideband. Late night skip here on the West Coast. Not sure what it's doing anywhere else from Hawaii and Australia. Kind of a thing that happens. We also checked in northern Idaho earlier, so the band is definitely open. The Old Tube Radio Network, listening for radio number 7. Yeah, Eric, all those places. Lockheed, Northrop. There was a lot of the aircraft companies down there in the South Bay and played a lot of people back in the 50s and 60s. McDonnell Douglas was another big one. Hello, radio. Take a transmission 37, over.
Okay, Dennis. Well, I am going to check in another tube radio, over.
All right, I'm ready. You will be radio 7. Go ahead. Or you will try to be radio 7.
I'm over in this way. Sorry about that. I would like to check in my general. I already checked in my general, but like I said, 7-Eleven. But anyway, I would like to check in my Chris 23 Plus. Over.
Now, is it 23 plus? 23 plus what?
A microphone and a bunch of tubes inside. But this is 23 Chris 23 Plus CB transceiver with the original handheld stock microphone. Over.
All right, KRIS 23 Plus, one of the Panasonic Style 2 radio chassis. Not as fancy as the Robin. It didn't get the range boost, but it did get the S-meter, and I don't know if you've got a microphone gain on that. Maybe you've got the microphone gain instead of range boost. Do you have a mic gain on the front?
No, all it has is the squelch, which is an on and off standby thing, volume and band spread, and of course has a modulation like that. That's about it. Over. Volumes with the shockwave. Aloha.
Okay, I'm looking. Okay, band spread. I go to the close-up here because I saw that extra knob down there. to see what it was. Sounds good. They gave you the mod lights. At least you got one winky, blinky thing. I'm going to give you a frequency check. I'm hearing a little heterodyne on your frequency. It sounds cool. It's got that old tube radio sound, but that's usually an indication that you might be south or north of 27085, which isn't that much of a bad thing. So take a transmission over.
Okay, well, you are making as bright as I can make it, but yeah, we are talking on it right now, and let's see, on the peak meter, we're doing 4, swinging up to about 7 or 8.
All right, yeah, you know what? You're at 83.3. I was hearing that heterodyne. That's actually not a bad thing when conditions are a little noisy. You can kind of use your band spread, if you will, and tune on to your carrier and let the people in center slot die down a little bit. All right, anyway, super cool, sounding good. Channel 11, the place to be, and you've got a PACB. Have you ever hooked up the big PA speaker and talked to the neighbors?
No, but I have to flip my switch back and forth, CB to PA. For something's wrong with this, it won't. I can't hear you unless I flip it. But I forgot to flip it back, and I key down the PA, and it lets out a big screaming squeal inside here over.
Ah, all right, very good. Yeah, sometimes that happens. That's changing your audio output, your transmitter, audio output into the transmitter and then into the speaker. So yeah, sometimes if that switches a little flaky, you might have to exercise it a bit to get back into the transceiver mode, but it is working well without a hitch.
Yeah, it's showing on the meters here that it's working, even on the gauge on the radio here. It's, gosh, I don't know if it's right or not, but it's kind of messed up here. I think it's not set perfectly. I don't think it needs to be tuned on the inside. I need to get Harvey over here one of these days to see if he can get this thing opened up for much I can hear without having to flip the PA back and forth. I think it has something to do with the I'm not sure. It just I can't get nobody to wiggle the needle at all on it when I receive, but it does transmit and it receives. Just can't see it, but I can see it when I transmit. Over.
All right, just check the S meter. You're probably about 5 dB less in signal, at least for audio on the general radio telephone, but you're still over S9. But that's the power of that general radio telephone with that extra 5 or 6 dB of audio forward movement. Doing a good job. It's Radio 7, the Chris 23 Plus, plus a lot of things. Take another transmission, and thanks for bringing it by. And you are definitely making it through the noise tonight, no problems.
Okay, yeah, I was saying earlier, 711, this is the radio number 7 that checked in, and my number 6 was the CB 11A, so I got 7 and 11. That's not bad. If it is, never mind, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, I got them both.
All right, and we've got them all on the net, on the archive, and it's sounding good. Here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Still a few minutes to check in your radio of choice, or to get checked in if we didn't get you on the SWL list. The jingle singers are around the ribbon microphonium, and we'll go to them, and we'll be back in just a moment. OTR.
What are the magic numbers?
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters?
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
And we are listening for radio number 8.
60.
All right, 60. You've got, take the number 8 and step up in the air chair. Is 9, wow, time flies when you're having fun. 9:55. Take a transmission, and I'll find you in the Rolodex, I hope.
Okay, World Radio Labs, my Hustler Radio. Hustler Base, I should say, the smallest radio I own. Dennis, I think 7 tubes, 8 channels, and a few odds and ends here on the baseboard, your squelch, your volume, of course your spotter, and the tuner, of course, and whatever else. I can't see that bottom one. Anyway, I hope that you're hearing me okay.
All right, just listening to the band is wide open tonight. The locals are coming through. The WRL, World Radio Labs, Leo Meyerson and the Globes and Indeed the Hustler, Pretty Blue Radio. Sounding good. You're making it through. The audio is a little down in what I'll call volume, gain level. But I'm hearing you just fine. You're giving me almost a full quieting signal. And more channels than tubes. It shows you don't have to really pack the radio full of heat sensing tubes to get it to work quite well. But if you need more, you can always... I bet there's probably room to put more in there, but they only used what they needed. Over.
Yeah, they probably did their Dennis, doggone it. A few channels and a few tubes, not much. But it is a little base radio. Not quite mobile. We only have the base plug for it, so it's running AC. Audio is a little low. This is the original stock mic, and if you want, I'll change over to the other one.
All right, before you do, and we've got a great picture. It's only on the video side, but for those watching the video, if you watch the replay, you will see the blue radio Hustler. There is a blue microphone with a black coiled cord, and it's wired into the radio, but I think you said that the microphone actually has a plug installed. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you are using the blue hand microphonium. Over?
Yeah, I think at one time it had a little emblem, a little round circle right in the front of the mic. There might have been an emblem on it, but it is blue and the cord is black, and it is now in the front of the radio with the jack that Harvey put.
All right. Well, we're waiting. I'm going to go to let me go to the Orban meter. So take one more transmission before you flip the microphone. I want to get the loudness on the LKFS so we can see if there's a difference. So take a transmission, then switch the microphone, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over to the other mic.
All right. He's up to about 18.5 minus 19. Switching to microphone in the front. In the radio itself, like you said, he added the mic cord, or the mic plug, so you can switch the microphone. So here we go to the other microphonium.
Well, that didn't take quite as long as I thought it was. I must have hit the spot there as soon as I put the plug in. But this is the other microphone, and I hope it sounds a little better, a little louder. Of course, it's not the original stock mic, but tell me what she's doing.
Wow, big improvement in audio gain. I don't know if it has a gain control. You could probably even back off just a little bit. But you went from, just having a nice little chat to, get to the front of the podium and turn on the big speaker. Sounds good. It's got full fidelity. It actually lets us hear the full fidelity out of the radio. It's little lows and little highs. And like I said, I wouldn't put it up anymore. You might even be able to back it off or just back off the microphone just a little bit. Definitely brought your loudness up a couple of, what is it, dB. So quite an improvement. Both sound good, though. Over.
Okay, well, then, doggone it, I think we'll leave this one on for a while. I appreciate the other one. I'll have it here close by as a reminder of the company it'll be keeping its mate. I guess we could call it its mate for the Hustler Radio. Okay, Dennis. Well, thank you for letting me check this one in, and doggone, I guess that'll do it for me.
All right, and that's not a bad way to do it. Think of, we always compare this to the old car shows. And a lot of times they bring the car out and they want the original hubcaps and the original upholstery. And then maybe they'll have one that's fancied up a little bit. So, it's always good to start it in the original mode, saying, here's the way it came out of the box. And then, pump the other microphone and plug the other microphone in there, and you can say, here's what it'll do. When we get under the hood, and you put in the high test octane, you put in the ethyl gas, this is what it'll do. if you wanted to. I like the comparison. So either way, it works good. It gives you a little more forward swing movement. You got a thumbs up from one of the listeners saying, "Oh yeah, likes the sound better on that other microphone. It's louder, and you've got it set up good so that it's not distorted." Leo Meyerson would be very proud that this radio is beaconing so well in the 21st century. Thanks for bringing by radio number 8.
Well, thank you for having me, Dennis. Okay, that'll do it for me then. Doggone it, we'll see if there's another one out there.
All right, it's almost time to sign off. Let me go to the control room. Someone asked a question and it scrolled off. What audio compressor are you using over your right shoulder? Very interesting illuminations. All right, it's probably right out of the shot, and I can't really tilt this camera up there, so there's a couple of things. I don't want to spend too much time talking about boring audio, but someone asked, so I'll try and do a quick I'll deal with the rack here. If anyone has a radio to check in, we'll get to you. Otherwise, we'll start counting and amounting. So, microphonium is the AKG condenser, just something new. I've been using a PR40, the RE27, which sound good. I like them. I've been dealing with the condenser here. So it's not a very classic-looking microphone to go with OTR, but it works quite well. All right, that goes into this unit here, which is a mic preamp that also has a de-esser, a compressor, and an expander. And you can see this light. That's the expander. So when I talk, it goes away. And if I talk loud enough, there you go. That's the compressor kicking in, but I have it set up as a peak limiter. That dumps directly in digitally into the top unit. You can just barely see. That's a Wheatstone M1, by the way, if you want to look that up. There's their M1 Voices. Goes directly into the Wheatstone MP532 multi-band compressor, AGC limiter, lots of stuff going on there. Very nice. Be able to select your frequencies and how much compression you want, and that's what the lights are showing you. When you get a little bit of AGC or compression, it shows your input and your output. That dumps into, where are we going? That dumps into this unit here, which is the Aphex Dominator that's got high and low frequency boost. I don't think you'll hear it on the air, but let me see if you can tell it over the Universal Media Net Web. Here's our 1.7. So if I turn down the 1.7, it sounds like that, 6667. If I turn it up, it sounds like that, 6667. So you keep it somewhere in the middle. It dumps into this unit here, and I can make a better light display. There we go. A little better light display on that, and that's another final compressor, especially for AM, to keep the peaks down so I don't flat top. That's what's going on with the audio, and it still doesn't sound as good as a Johnson Messenger 2 or a General Radio Telephone Super MC11A or a Robin T123B. That's what you have to do on some of these radios to get it to sound good. All right, that's enough for me. The jingle singers are going to do a jingle, and if there's some check-ins or comments, we will do that before we sign out tonight here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
135, 135.
All right, 135, hold on. Who was the break station? Go ahead. Yeah, microphone is good. Making it through the noise and the skip. I hear you fine. 53 over.
I appreciate it there, Dennis. Just wanted to check this microphone. You have a good weekend. Take care. 53, back quiet. Bye-bye.
All right, sounds good. You're only about an S6, but nice, clear audio punching through, so don't touch a thing. Over.
Sure, you got a copy of it.
Wow, and I haven't heard this kind of skip for a long time, where it's just kind of floating in from all places, and a lot of stations don't even know that they're out and about. All right, 135. You are still beaconing. Take a transmission. Over.
Yeah, if I can make it through the skip. Sorry, I was waiting till the end to do this because it's going to take some time, and also I was hoping to get some better, audio quality issues. I'm only the tiniest bit low in frequency, but can you hear me okay through the skip?
Yes, I can. Yeah, and I'm surprised too. I figured if you waited till the end of the program, end of the net here, that we'd have clear frequency. I think right now it's almost as noisy as it's been since we started. But you're sounding good, and if for some reason we have an issue, we'll have you do a take two on whatever it is you are about to do. First of all, let me ask what radio you are on, and I'll find it in the Rolodex, hopefully.
3-1. There should be a picture of this somewhere. This is the Spitfire Mark XL by Cardon, C-A-R-D-O-N, Cardon Import Limited, Canada. It's made in Japan, that comes through Canada, and here it is in Fresno, California. So this is my round-the-world radio, and it's 40 channels, 9 tubes, and let's see. Oh yes, one of the reasons I'm doing this is a new mic, or at least new to this radio. This is an astatic DN50. That's Delta November 50 microphone with a TUG 9 bass. Back to you.
All right, good signal, good audio. I put up a picture. Because it's a cool-looking radio. It's 40 channels, so I think this is probably a clone of the Robin T240D chassis. It looks pretty fancy. It's got a fine-tune. It's got a mic gain on front and a range expand. So very interesting, but the mod and the PA light reminds me of the Robin era. But cool-looking radio. I know Chrissy is maybe not by the radio, but she would enjoy this solid green color. So hopefully she can catch us on the replay. All right, if you're going to do some microphoniums and you haven't switched yet, go ahead and take another transmission, and then we'll start checking in and see if anybody wants to comment that's listening about the microphones. Please do, as we test some microphoniums on the Spitfire Mark XL. Back to you.
Oh yeah, and lots of green on this thing too. Lots of green. So she might like that too. And extra green here too, because both the mics I'm going to do here are also green. Well, this is a very aqua green. It's a very blue green. But the microphone I'm going to hook up to it here is also an static mic, and it's extremely green. So I'll go ahead and hook that one up if you've got the levels all checked out. And let's see, right now the range expand is on, and my mic gain on the radio is at 1 o'clock. The mic gain on the bass is about a quarter of the way up. So with that in mind, I'm going to hook up the other microphone and crank the mic gain because it doesn't have as much of it. So I'll be right back.
Okay, I'm just kind of jogged between the Orban loudness meter, the LKFS, and where you were on the S meter and the forward movement. So we can kind of get a difference between the two, and then our ears will tell us what we think about just the audio quality. So microphonium number 1 on the Cardone Spitfire Mark XL, and you're playing with the skip, but you're coming over it, so I'm listening.
Okay, let's crank the mic gain up all the way. That's the mic gain all the way up on the radio, and the range expand is still on. Here, I'll turn it off just for comparison here. Range expand is still on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And range expand is back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the static, what is this, 200S. It's a static 200 Sierra. It is a much smaller mic. It is non-amplified. Both of these are static mics. And this one is not amplified. So back to you.
All right, interesting. When I look at the S meter, I see the same forward movement because this microphone has a little bit more high frequencies to push that end of it. when I look at the loudness meter, you're down by 2 dB. And I think that's just the generic, because you don't have the low frequencies and mids of the other microphone. Turning off the range boost is a bad thing. You actually, since you're not full quieting over the skip, your modulation is the thing that we're hearing. So you turn down your modulation and the skip starts covering you up, or at least their audio bleeding in with your carrier. With the noise the way it is, the other microphone is actually playing better, even though to my ear, I think I like the sound of this one. But in a noisy configuration, which we have right now, you actually need that extra 2 dB of sound, of loudness to come through the noise. How's that?
Okay, and I'm much closer to this microphone as well. And I'm glad you're telling me all this. I need to know that because the modulation light on the radio is every bit as bright and every bit as responsive as it is with the other microphones. So, you know, how am I supposed to tell? That's why we do these on-the-air checks, right? Hello. Oh, hey, check it out. I made the PA light come on just a little bit. That's kind of strange. I've never seen it do that before. But, okay, I'll switch back to the other microphone. And it's good to know. Leave the range expand on both mics. And like I say, this one I got to choke up on. The other one I was much further away from. Okay, so I'll go ahead and switch back microphones. Okay?
All right. Yeah, that's interesting. What's happening is you've got some nice high frequency articulation, and those frequencies I think are pushing the lights. They're pushing the S meter, because like I said, your movement on the S meter is the same. But when I actually go to the loudness meter, the microphone just had us down by about 2 dB. So I think that's just an indication of it. If you could get a bit more gain out of it, and I know you said you're cranked, and you got to be careful about playing the microphone too close, because then you add a little bit of distortion. If you get a little bit more amplification, a little bit more gain, I probably would prefer the other microphone, just because of the it sounds more like you do on FM, but the first microphone definitely has the advantage here with the mids and the low mids pushing through for loudness. Over.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm back on the other. Oh, hey, I still got the mic gain on the radio cranked all the way up. What does that do for this one?
It adds another 2 dB of loudness, but the loudness is okay, but your quality suffers. It starts getting that little fuzzy around the edges.
Okay, that's back at 1 o'clock, where it was before. Hello. Like I say, everything looks about the same on the meters and everything, but that's why we're doing this. I need these kinds of inputs. And this is kind of a cool mic. Both of them are. Green static mics are kind of rare, and I've got 3 of them.
Yeah, rare times 3. And also, with the microphone gain turned up with this microphone, it doesn't sound bad, and it does help. I mean, if Skip came in super loud, you were same signal as you, then increasing the audio gain probably would help. Getting that loudness would help again. So if you're having trouble being heard, I would not hesitate to actually increase the mic gain, add just a little distortion, but give you enough loudness to get through the noise. Right now, the way things are, where you've got it set is good. And both would play well if that frequency was quiet. Radio 9, the Spitfire Mark XL from Cardone, a Panasonic chassis clone of the 40-channel radio with the digital readout, sounding good. Let's see, did we check frequency, or do we need to do that?
I got 0848 on my frequency, which should definitely be close enough. C is close enough.
I'm about a foot away from the mic right now. Is that a good distance? If I back up, I'm about 2 feet away from the mic now. And how about if I get right on it, right there, 1 inch away from the microphone head? What does all that do for me?
Well, let's see, the foot and 2 foot, I would say you probably need to be, at like 8 inches or so, or rather from the 12 inches to 8 inches is probably about right. I wouldn't go back more than about a foot. And when you're right up on it, you get the loudness. So you could do that without, if you didn't want to turn the gain. But there's a little bit of proximity stuff going on. So yeah, do the classic, put your hand and your thumb out in front of your face and do that thing.
How did you know? That's actually how I do it. I know how long my fingers are and everything. That's how I was measuring everything. How about that?
Yeah, I knew you were a skilled professional. I knew you knew that trick. So I would say that microphone definitely would work with that.
Yeah, how did you know? Is that a professional thing that folks do? Oh man, it's like that's exactly what I was doing. It was like you totally caught me on that.
All right. Well, no, it's good you know that. And some microphones play with that. So others you can get right up on them. Some of them you can go. See, with this condenser microphone, I'm working. If you watch the video, I'm working far away from it, and it's a super cardioid. So I don't have much problem. With the RE27 or the PR40, I definitely had to be a little bit closer to not get room noise. So it depends on the microphonium. Anyway, I think you're good to go, and I agree with you absolutely on the 84.8 on the frequency. It's zero beated perfectly there.
Oh, okay. So my frequency counter is reasonably close anyways. Yeah, it may not be as bang on as the other ones were, but Harvey wasn't working on frequency with this one. We were messing with mics with this radio. Because, again, that's so close to being on frequency as it really doesn't matter. And messing with it further would probably not help. So that's a good deal. I wish it put out a little more power. This thing only puts out 3, swinging to not quite 5 watts. So it's not a real powerful radio. But other than that, if conditions are quieter, it probably does the JLB. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just amazed at how much skip is coming in right now. Still looking good. Love the green. Great radio. A product of Cardone Imports Company Ltd. I'm trying to read the fine print. All right, I want to turn it back to you for any more items. I want to sign out. It is getting late. It is getting very late to our listeners where it's Sunday morning. We thank you for standing by for that. There's a great little conversation going on the chat about the 50s and 60s going on in Southern California. I'm from there, so I'll have to go back and check that chat. And a lot of people giving a thumbs up to the Spitfire Mark XL. Back to you.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks for letting me run the test on this. I think I'll probably continue to use this microphone. Maybe occasionally the other one too. Who knows? Because yeah, it's got some nice qualities to it, and it's green, and it's an aesthetic. So hey, you can't go too wrong with that. Again, thanks for letting me check all these things in tonight, and we'll see you next time.
All right, next time on the Old Tube Radio Network, and Toby, good luck on your recap job on the Mark II. I am hopefully someday going to do a recap job on my Regency Imperial that still has, I want to say it's probably got some really good original tubes or high-quality tubes from the early 1970s. The radio hasn't been touched. It's been sitting around, so it definitely needs to be recapped, and I'm hoping some of those 6 BQ5s and everything are choice tubes, back when they were good. And the thing will play. I don't know. We'll find out. Any other stations wanting to check in before we sign out here tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network? And it is an evening. This might go on all night. I don't know. It's definitely gray line somewhere. As you can see, it's been dark here for a while. But Cycle 25, we're just in the beginning, and it's really getting off to a good start. So some of the portents about it not being as good or being mushy like 24 and 23 were, I don't know, could be wrong. 15, 20 meters are being open 24 hours, especially for the digital mode. So we've still got another 4 or 5 good years to go here. in cycle 25. So it's going to be fun. If you, like I always say this, if you haven't got your amateur radio license, you're thinking about doing it, cycle 25 is going to be good. You're going to need a piece of wire in your QRP radio, and you'll probably do okay, especially when things like this happen on 11 meters, and it's just basically you're not going to talk to anybody. It's just going to be a cacophony of noise. Jump off somewhere else and make some contacts and come back later like we all do on Saturdays. Counting and mounting is going to be happening, and I'll be back in just a little bit here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
That's Skip checking in, or can I?
Yeah, I've got the paper in front of me. I think Skip has checked in many times. I know we got the turtle, the kangaroo. Somebody checked in from down under, from yesterday or today. It was a check-in in the future. Go ahead with your radio. Over.
The usual Golden Beagle R68T68 custom microphone from Browning Laboratories. Yeah, I've been busy trying to get a microphone to work. Still can't get it to work. I'll have to check out all the wiring, see what's messed up. But anyway, this one seems to work, so I'll just use it. Okay, we'll catch you next week.
Check on that. What about now? Check.
All right, and we should be here next week. I think it is Memorial Day weekend or a holiday. So we'll see who's around for that. There's the first Golden Eagle by Browning, the R68T68, to be followed by the Mark II and all its various accessories. If you want to accessorize, you can do that. Toby's recapping one right now. Counting and mounting, we'll be right back. Thank you for radio number 10.
Hey, Harvey.
Yeah.
How do you think this thing went tonight? Just couldn't get the little 200S to go?
Nah, I even put a crystal cartridge in there. No. It's feeding back, but I think I know why. I think I just didn't wire from the mic kit to the preamp properly. And I'll have to check and see about that.
Yeah, I still want one of those in mine.
Crystal cartridge?
Oh, no, the amplifier.
I don't know if it'll work. I'm having problems.
Oh, isn't it just like a Tug 8 or Tug 9 bass amplifier kind of deal, or is it your own design?
No, it's a standard deal off preamp. Old style.
Yeah, Roger.
Oh, yeah, I'll stand by.
All right, we're getting worldwide all over the place. The Old Tube Radio Network.
This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. It's time now for the current OTR totals.
We'll call it the current and final totals. We'll get out of here while the conditions are still running. I'm not sure what it is in the rest of the U.S., but here on the West Coast, the band is still open. I imagine the guys up on 38 lower are having a good time chatting, as we did here tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network. Let's see. We checked in a lot of stations. We had the 16 SWLs on page 1, 18 on page 2, 15 on page 3, 23 on page 4 for a total of 72. A couple of check-ins on the Echo link up tonight. Let's see, thanks to Mitch for that, although I didn't, I was going to see if he was there. It looks like he is signed out. We're going to see if he was back at the microphonium. So let's talk about radios, which we had 10. The most heard, it was pretty even, pretty spread out even tonight. The most heard manufacturer was Robbins, I do believe. Started off with the Polycom Polytronics Senior 23, checking out some microphoniums. I think we found the one that works well. They all work well. Maybe the one that works best. SWL-10 on the Robin T123B from northern Idaho, floating down on the E layer, F layer, one of those layers, jumping hundreds and hundreds of miles into the old tube radio receiver, sounding good. I'm going to have to go back and replay that. But it's some really, really good audio from the Robin. And of course, it's because Chrissy was at the microphonium, no doubt. Radio 2. Thanks, Chrissy, for the extra effort on that. And you and Dwayne for joining us tonight. Radio number 3, Joe was on the E.F. Johnson Messenger 2. From E.F. Johnson, is it Edgar Frederick Johnson? Something like that. Radio number 4, the Sonar Model E from Cliff. Nice early 1960s radio with super good audio, as the Sonars are known for. Radio Robin T123B number 2 from Joe. Radio 6 was Chris on the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, beautiful downtown Burbank to the rescue. And then I think we went from beautiful downtown Burbank to somewhere overseas with the Chris 23 Plus on the Panasonic chassis, but sounding good nonetheless for Radio 7. Mr. Hustler on the Hustler from World Radio Labs. 2 different microphones on that. The original issue, if you enjoy the your 1959 Pontiac Star Chief with the original hubcaps, we got the blue microphone on the Hustler. If you enjoy it with the moon hubcaps and the big white walls, we had the extras flavor microphone as well. Thank you, Joe, for that. Radio number 9, Green Arrow on the Spitfire Mark XL from Cardone. Checking out a couple of microphoniums. They all worked well. That speaks well of a radio when you can change microphones, get different quality. The radio will say, okay, you want to pass some low frequencies, I'll do that for you. You want to jump in and push the tubes a little bit, I will do that for you. No flat topping. Very versatile. That's why we like the tube radios. And radio number 10, the Browning R68 T68 Golden Eagle. If you go by textbook, if you go by the guy running it, it's the Browning Laboratories R68 T68 Golden Beagle. Thanks to the Echolink link. 23 Skidoo, thanks to searchlawrence.com for the Nixie tubes, which I will put back up as they count us down to our next episode of the Old Tube Radio Network. And thanks to those listening in, our shortwave listeners, get on the air, won't you, somewhere. Maybe you can do something like this, get on the air at night. It doesn't have to be tube radios, just getting the channels back together. You just never know. Sometimes it's a bit quiet out there, but I noticed tonight with Skip rolling in, there is something for everyone. We'll talk to you next time on your Old Tube Radio Network. 73, everybody.
Good night.
And I'm wondering, did we talk off the Skip?
I think you put them on the quiet side. Good night.
All right, 328. I really hold you up. I got back in the sun.
Yep, spoke too soon.
308. You two around 106. I'm 93. And Kevin Big and Moody have a 4 minutes down. I'm back in the quad now.
Good night, Joe.
Bye, Cliff.
And I'm sure John Boy's in there somewhere.
And Mary Ellen.
Probably on Mary Ellen.
Good night, little B.
All right, get you all later. Good night to the stream, the Old Tube Radio Network. Couldn't unkey the... And Charlie Alpha Tango is in somewhere. I thought he might to join us, but he looked... Poor little guy is getting kind of old. He looked pretty tuckered out, and he was in his Maybe he's over by the door. No, okay. He's in his favorite spot, so I think he's going to get some treats here. Good night, everybody. The Old Tube Radio Network.
I got too much dribble, but I've got a lot of spit to put on his head there. Come on. I'll cut her off. I'll something wrong with you all night, Jeffrey.